According to Marcus, nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free from interruptions than your own soul. Retreat to consult your own soul, and then return to face what awaits you. Following Christ, Marcus Aurelius ruled as Roman emperor from 161 until 180. As the final of the 5 virtuous emperors, he is revered. He composed a collection of autobiographical pieces known as Meditations at this period, in which he continuously urged people to seek out peace in their lives. In addition to stressing the value of waking up early and embracing the day in his meditations, he also emphasized the need of setting aside time to inwardly retreat and find serenity. We can reasonably infer what his nocturnal routine would have been from his documents. We'll look at 7 distinct activities that Marcus Aurelius would have done in the late afternoon or evening in this video, along with how we might modify or adopt this schedule for our contemporary lifestyles. I'll start now. The only thing I ask of you is not to skip this video in any way. If you're here, consider yourself different from the majority. Consider yourself an exception. Now, act like one and don't skip any chapter. Music. Thank you very much. Musique 1. Remove outside stimulants. Marcus Aurelius is said to have used his nights to detach from the outside world, saying, "It is in your power to withdraw into yourself whenever you desire." Though he is best renowned for his idea of living each day as if it were our last, he also thought that in order to rejuvenate oneself, it was important to set aside time for mental retreat. In an attempt to relieve himself of tension or unfavorable emotions, he performed this, cutting ties with outside stimulus and looking inward for meaning. The changes that occur outside of the body, or the information that is seen by our senses, are considered external stimuli. We are continuously exposed to outside stimuli these days, particularly when interacting with people and technology. We overwork ourselves to satisfy the flimsy expectations of our contemporary society, and our days are now jam-packed with assignments, meetings, deadlines, and responsibilities. Even though we make an effort to strike a balance between job and personal life, we inevitably lose our independence and peace of mind, and we come home feeling worn out, overburdened, and anxious. Usually, our evening routine consists of watching TV, checking social media, or trying to answer those urgent emails. We must lessen the amount of stimulus and clear our minds. As a result, you should set out time for yourself during your nightly ritual. This probably entails getting rid of a lot of the nighttime activities you've grown used to, and substituting them with new ones that will actually assist you in detaching and centering yourself. This entails turning off your electronics at least 30 minutes before night and making time for peace and quiet. This can be as easy as breathing exercises, body scans, or guided meditations lasting 5 minutes each. Meditations focused on mindfulness can help you become more aware of your body and quiet your racing mind. Adding this kind of meditation to your evening routine can have tremendous positive effects. It can be like a retreat within ourselves. It is well established that meditation greatly improves sleep, elevates mood, and lowers anxiety. Your nightly ritual should be a moment to unwind and reconnect with your calm self, away from the hectic outside world. Although watching TV shows non-stop, playing video games, going out with friends, or browsing social media may seem like personal retreats, these activities don't genuinely aid in achieving peace of mind. Actually, they block you from locating it. Even though sleep is necessary, it frequently isn't enough to replenish your energy after a demanding day. Your nightly ritual needs to contain something that lets your mind shut off in order to be truly peaceful. 2. Exercise. Even though Marcus Aurelius lived almost 2,000 years ago, he recognized the need of physical activity, saying, "It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable." He held that a sound body is necessary for a sound mind. The Stoics held that virtues like self-improvement, discipline, perseverance, facing obstacles head-on, and boosting self-esteem could all be learned through even a basic workout regimen. They realized that developing these self-mastery abilities through exercise was more crucial than seeking acceptance from others. The Stoics understood back then, despite what the media might have us believe, that chasing a flawless body for the sake of flaunting it seldom results in actual happiness. Exercise holds incredible benefits for both physical and mental health, so we shouldn't completely disregard it as part of our routine. Often we avoid our exercise session with excuses like, "I'm too tired," "I have a big meeting tomorrow and don't want to be sore," or "I'm so stressed at work that I can't even think about exercising." Even though many of us avoid exercise for various reasons, it is still important. Exercise of any kind, including playing sports or going to the gym, is healthy for us because it releases endorphins, which are happy chemicals that lift our spirits and lower stress. Exercise in the evening can even aid in a quicker night's sleep, waking you up feeling rejuvenated and prepared for the next day. You might also include the idea of going for a quick walk in the evening to help you decompress. Additionally, pay attention to the surroundings and the air as you stroll. Allow your thoughts to drift away from daydreaming and toward an observation of the night sky while you stroll. Your thoughts will be cleared after a busy day, and you'll be ready for a restful night's sleep if you move your body gently and take in the beauty of the surrounding environment. 3. Review your day. The Stoics believed that the two best times for reflection were in the morning and at night, preparing for the coming day by recording your thoughts in a morning journal and reviewing the day that has passed. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under thy observation in life." In order to attain personal clarity, Marcus Aurelius authored his meditations with the goal of reflecting on his own everyday activities and ideas. He watched his every move and decision closely. The Stoics stressed the need of reviewing one's activities at the end of each day in order to increase awareness, as well as the importance of being conscious of one's own deeds. In general, the Stoics described this type of attention as an attempt to become self-aware of one's activities and determine whether or not they are in accordance with one's higher self. This kind of everyday introspection was compared by Stoics to making a case in court. You examine your everyday decisions and activities, look back on them, and evaluate your day by going over them methodically. This is not intended to be a judgmental exercise, but rather a kind evaluation that will help you make wiser choices going forward. This type of daily review can be included into your evening routine by making time before bed to think back on the day that has just ended. Go over every second of the day, starting from when you woke up and ending at the present. Think back on the different decisions and deeds you did. What accomplished good today? What feelings did you feel? What aspects of your day caused you discomfort? What lessons can you draw from today's events? What would you have liked to do today but didn't? The practice of daily thought is essential to Stoic philosophy. They aid in our readiness for the following day by making a list of the goals we had for the day. They are also essential for determining if the person we really want to be is reflected in the way we conduct ourselves on a daily basis. When you go back and review your day, for instance, you can remember anything unpleasant that happened because of a miscommunication when you were purchasing your morning coffee. You'll be able to identify the specific instances in which this conversation bothered and unsettled you. You'll draw attention to how much time you spent thinking about the interaction and how it changed your attitude in the morning. You could consider how you would have preferred to respond to the circumstance differently, or how in the grand scheme of things, that particular interaction didn't really matter. Knowing about this experience can help you approach similar situations with more attention in the future. An essential first step towards living a Stoic life is scheduling some time each night to reflect on your day accomplishments. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. Before we move on to number 4. The best thing a human being can do is to seek knowledge and give up ignorance, and you have done just that. Kindly verify your channel subscription and kindly hit the like button on the video. 4. Think about your inner wisdom. A sage is someone who is respected for their wisdom, judgment, and expertise in a certain profession. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Mastery of reading and writing requires a master, even more so, life." This wise man serves as a model for a lot of others. Stoics set aside time to consider their sages and whether their deeds matched the sage's teachings. The contemplation of the sage should essentially be a nightly moment where you reflect on your day or on the person you are and ask yourself, what would your role model do? Your role model could be someone you know or just an idea of an ideal person. Marcus Aurelius considered Zeno, the founder of Stoic philosophy, to be his sage, and he often asked himself, what would Zeno do? It's critical to define this individual precisely so you can consider whether your behavior is consistent with your role model. Spend some time thinking back to your role model as part of your nightly routine. Then ask yourself, did you act as your role model would have? In what ways can you improve tomorrow so your life is more aligned with your role models? What traits of your role model did you identify in yourself today? You may become the kind of person you truly like and become more conscious of the decisions you make tomorrow by dedicating a short period of time during your nightly routine to thinking back on the events you encountered today, and if you responded as you think your role model would have. 5. Adopt an elevated viewpoint. Marcus Aurelius recommends that we examine life from a cosmic viewpoint or from above, saying, "Consider the matter in its entirety, of which you possess the smallest part, and time in its entirety, of which a brief and momentary period has been assigned to you, and the works of destiny, and how small is your portion in them." Viewing yourself and your day from above entails removing personal feelings and worries by taking a broader view of life and viewing yourself and your day as though you were witnessing from a third-person perspective. It is well known that Aurelius used his evenings to contemplate his existence from the perspective of the universe in order to transcend his finite viewpoint. There's no shortage of distractions in the modern world. We are inundated with news, views, ads, and diversions every time we leave the house. We use our phones, computers, TVs, radios, and listening to the radio when we're not at work or with our families. Mental exhaustion results from all of this. Finding time for reflection and breathing is difficult. Apps, games, videos, and TV shows all compete for our attention, and because of this, it might be challenging for us to handle our difficulties, worries, tensions, and obligations. The Stoic practice of adopting a higher perspective can help with this by lifting the weight of our issues, by elevating our perspective to that of something beyond ourselves. One way to start could be setting aside some evening time for peaceful contemplation of your physical environment, your body, your house, and your occupants. Consider how they might be feeling, how you relate to them, and any issues, aspirations, or anxieties they might be experiencing. Then broaden your perspective to see your own city, and how each person residing there has a distinct life that you are unaware of. Like you, they too have hopes, dreams, and concerns. Continue to broaden your viewpoint until it encompasses not just your own nation but the entire planet as well. Taking into account everyone on Earth, every one of our lives is dispersed over nations, racial groups, social classes, and civilizations. Consider the difficulties that some of the less fortunate people are going through. Continue growing to encompass the solar system, the cosmos, and all of existence. Looking at ourselves from above, we see that we are not isolated beings unconnected to the world around us, but rather a component of a greater whole, and an active participant in everything that is around us. Taking an outsider's perspective on ourselves allows us to view our issues and ourselves more clearly. We may see our fears, anxieties, and issues more clearly with less emotion, and with a higher possibility of comprehending their causes and remedies when we remove ourselves from them. Contextualizing things gets easier. Try this activity if you're depressed because someone insulted you. Putting things into perspective makes it much simpler to overcome the emotional challenges we face. Minor disputes and arguments appear insignificant in contrast. When we contrast our issues with those of others or with the immensity of space, many of our problems seem insignificant. 6. Spend time with your family. According to Marcus Aurelius, at the end of the day, it was time to spend time with family. He states, "Those who live longer and those who will die soonest lose the same thing, for the present is all that they can give up. Since that is all you have, and what you do not have, you cannot lose." It was obvious how much he loved his wife and kids. He was busy, well-known, and significant, but he never neglected any of them. He loved them. He valued that thing right in front of him, which was genuinely the most important thing in his life. At night, he would tuck his kids into bed and kiss them, thinking to himself, "Don't rush this. It might be the last time you do it. It's not guaranteed that both of you will make it through the night." Afterward, he bid them a good night. For as long as he was lucky enough to live, he kept doing this. The Stoics employed the contemplation of death as a method to help them remember how fleeting life is. One of the most common regrets of a dying person, according to a well-known Australian nurse who devoted her career to caring for patients who were near death, is the desire to have spent more time with family. Her patients frequently bemoaned the pressures of contemporary living, saying they had missed out on their children's childhood and their partner's company. During the week, families only spend slightly more than 30 minutes together, and even then, many parents claim that their time is spent silently in front of the TV because they are too busy, reading, using a computer, or just being too exhausted to speak. Like the Stoics, we will begin to make changes to spend more time with family and tell them we love them often if we regularly reflect on our own mortality and remind ourselves that the day will come when neither we nor our children will be able to wake up to enjoy the beauty of life. Spending quality time together as a family is crucial for fostering close ties, romantic relationships, and other positive interactions. Children gain confidence, learn to deal with difficulties, and develop a sense of security and family values when they spend meaningful time with their families. 7. Get ready for the mornings. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the significance of rising early every day and states, "In your actions, do not procrastinate." He made this habit in the morning to make the most of each and every minute of life. Sleep was therefore intended to be a restorative experience rather than a chance to indulge in sloth. Aurelius believed in the importance of having a morning ritual, but this pattern began the night before as he got ready for the next day. The Stoics used to set aside morning time to practice their days in order to get ready for them. They accomplished this by thinking about what they wished to do that day, planning for various scenarios, and introspecting. Many of the Stoics engaged in these kinds of morning and evening thoughts. To start, you might get ready the night before to facilitate a more restful sleep. This might include packing your work bag, choosing your outfit for the next day, or sticking to a consistent morning schedule. Consider it as a to-do list that eliminates the need for you to utilize your judgment because the decision was made the previous evening. Keep in mind that your decisions become less effective the more you make of them during the day. Save your mental energy for little choices, such as what to wear for work in the morning. This will improve your quality of life and your health in addition to making waking up more enjoyable. Not only will your evening routine help you with your morning routine, but it can also help you feel less anxious about the duties that lie ahead of you when you get up. I hope this is useful. Please contact me if you need any additional help or if you have any other queries.